Why hello, as you can see I'm back with another video, and this time we're tackling Daria season 1 episode 7, The Lab Rat. We open in Miss Barch's science class with our usual students, and off top we know we're dealing with a woman scorned and she's unhinged slightly. Her ex-husband did her dirty and now she's letting her personal life carry over into her work life. She repeatedly tells the male students to shut up. She has a clear vendetta against Kevin, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say she should be fired. Side note, to me, her voice kind of sounds like Megan Mullally, if you know who that is. So, lab partners are being assigned, and their assignment is to build a maze and condition a mouse using positive or negative reinforcement. And Miss Barch decides to partner up Daria with Kevin and Brittany with Upchuck. And this is the first time Brittany and Kevin have been split up. And it's also the first time that the two of them might have a small chance at passing grade. That night at the Morgendorffers, Helen interrupts the girls' TV time and tries to talk to Daria about Kevin being her science partner because Quinn's got a big mouth and she's already told her. Daria just wants to watch TV, so Helen moves over to Quinn and immediately regrets it because Quinn's problems are just like, girl, just be quiet, please. Helen finally wears Daria down and she explains the assignment. Helen hopes everything works out because if it does, Daria might have a chance at being included in Kevin's friend group. Does Helen even know who her daughter is? Quinn has a scheme to get close to Kevin and we'll continue to see her thirst rise to an embarrassingly high level. Kevin shows up, Quinn tries to intercept, but Daria steps in and takes Kevin to the living room where she turns on football. And it's over because he can't focus on anything except the TV and the game, and that's when Daria's experiment on Kevin begins. Quinn starts waiting on Kevin hand and foot, somewhat reluctantly because she wants to be waited on too, while Daria goes to start the project as intended, aka alone. And here's Brittany in full disguise mode as we see her walk up to Charles's house. She looks great actually until you see her bright cheerleading socks on display. She can't risk being seen going into his house, and once she steps inside, we see that Upchuck has on an ascot and a robe. A robe? Why does he have on a robe? Charles starts making fun of Brittany's predicament and she's threatening to leave. Upchuck tells her that she needs to pull her weight and he's not about to do the project alone. And if she does decide to leave, he'll just tell everyone they're dating. Brittany says it's her word against his and absolutely nobody will believe him. That's when he whips out a picture of Brittany and the rival quarterback in the back seat looking like they had a time. I mean, you see the picture, it feels very post-coital. Upchuck clearly took this picture while hiding in the bushes like a lecherous perv, and side note, I'm already sick of him, and we are only on the 7th episode of the first season. Does he get better? Does he get worse? I mean, ugh, I hate him. Sorry, I do. Anyway, he blackmails her, and she pretty much is his servant for the week, and he puts her straight to work. We see Quinn has cooked Kevin a steak, which is wild. He continues to only be interested in football and the next day's dinner menu, while Quinn continues to wait on him hand and foot and ask for a date. She knows perfectly well that he's with Brittany. It's definitely not helping that Kevin continuously calls Quinn babe. Brittany pops up looking for Kevin. It appears she's had a mishap cleaning Charles's fish tank, and Quinn says Kevin is booked and busy, and she starts closing the door as Kevin can be heard yelling, "Hey, what's for dessert?" Kevin mistakenly wanders into the garage where Daria is working on the maze, and he thinks it's cool and he accidentally snaps off a door. Daria wants him out, as do I. He's too busy meeting the mouse for the first time even though it's been a week. And here comes Quinn with a homemade chocolate cake. Kevin tells her he'll be back in soon. Side note, Kevin is ungrateful and he should have ran to go eat that cake. Take his life. That's when we see Brittany. She is like, what's going on here? He says they've been working and she's still suspicious, so she says the maze looks great. Since Kevin is so smart, she wants him to explain their work. And of course he can't, so Brittany's triggered. Daria says, relax and have a piece of that chocolate cake that Quinn made solely for your boy Kevin. That's when Brittany tries to snatch up Kevin and leave, but Daria claims they have more work to do. And that's when we hear Upchuck yelling for Brittany, which means she's back on that maid duty. Sometime later, Jane and Daria get pizza. Kevin comes over to confirm that he'll be over later that night. Daria says, don't worry about it, don't come over. And Kevin remembers that he actually promised to help Quinn practice her massage skills. Because that doesn't sound suspicious at all. Brittany appears and wants Kevin to take her to the movies. He claims he has to work on the maze with Daria. Daria does not confirm this. In fact, she repeats again, "Don't come over." He makes up an excuse to Brittany and disappears. Joey, Jeffy, and Jamie come over to ask Daria out because they just need to see for themselves what's doing. Like, why is Kevin spending his nights at Daria's? Daria's not interested, and Brittany is. And they're not interested in Brittany, but they are interested in Quinn as she walks up. Quinn is just interested in any male attention. Brittany gets a page from Upchuck. She's got errands to run and she ain't happy. And he reminds her about her backseat indiscretion when she starts complaining. So back at the Morgendorffers, Quinn is on the phone bragging about how she's basically dating Kevin and how older guys are just that into her. She also sets up a date with some guy for Wednesday. Brittany shows up claiming she needs to leave something for Kevin in the garage, but she's really there to steal Daria and Kevin's mouse. No mouse, no project, right? Daria sees that the mouse is gone and she tells Kevin when he shows up, but he's only concerned about watching the game with Jake. Quinn comes in and fails to distract him, just as Daria comes in and finds out that Brittany is most definitely the mouse thief. The next day at school, Kevin and Brittany are talking as Daria walks up and notices that Brittany has what appears to be a bite mark on her hand. She explains to Kevin so that Brittany can hear that if they don't get that mouse back, they'll have to do a makeup project that could take weeks, maybe even months of Kevin's time. And Brittany's heard enough. She admits to her crime, and that afternoon she returns the mouse and proceeds to lure Kevin to her house with her brand new satellite TV. And of course, Quinn fails to stop him again. The next day, we're back at school ready for our lab presentation. Brittany and Upchuck go first, and guess what? 2 big fat F's. Number 1, because the teacher won't let Charles talk because, quote, he's a man, and Brittany was too busy getting blackmailed and checking on Kevin to participate. Kevin and Daria are next, and Daria explains that her mouse was repeatedly abused by a 10-year-old boy, who we know is Brittany's little brother, and now the mouse's primary response to everyday stimuli is fear. I mean, look at him, he's trembling in a corner. Daria gets an A, Kevin gets a D, because, quote, he's a man. Kevin couldn't be more excited. Look at him. So, after class, Daria and Kevin are walking in the hallway, and Kevin explains that he had a great time this week and he's planning on having a huge party. And he wants a lot of cool people there, so he invites her. That's so cool, right? Wrong, because what he actually did is he told Daria to ask Quinn if she's available. And that is the end of the episode. It was just a pretty okay episode to me. It didn't give me a lot of hee-hees nor ha-has, but it was fine. I'd give it 3 out of 5 chocolate cakes. It was just okay. And if you haven't watched it, I'd say you probably aren't missing much and you could probably skip it. Anyway, I'll be back with another episode soon. Bye.